Okay, and then we can open up at the end if anybody has any questions. Okay, so first of all, Jamie and I are working on the new coach training, which is I'm really excited about because we've been dragging our feet about this for a really long time. And it's time to get something in place for new coaches because you guys are going to be signing coaches and then you're not going to have any place to put them or any kind of training to put them through. I never had any training. You could go either way on the fact of whether or not you need training, but it's very helpful. Some people need a lot of structure. So it's definitely going to be beneficial, I think, for our upcoming coaches. And we have several new coaches on our team. And even for you guys who basically feel like you maybe need to get back to the basics, it's not a bad idea for you guys to watch these. And I'm also going to be, so it's going to be like a 7-day kickstart. So that's going to be the first set of videos. So coaches are going to be put in that group. There's going to be a short checklist. They're going to watch these videos. And for that series, it's me, Jamie, and Jessica Servi have created the videos or are in the process of creating the videos for this group. Then once they complete that, then they're going to go to the next group, which is going to be called Learning the Basics. And that's when I'm going to ask for some of your guys' help too on a couple different topics, because I would like to see a couple of our leaders in that as well. I don't expect everybody to do it, especially if you're a newer coach. I don't expect you to create a video for this, but you know, your future coaches are going to be in this too. So it's good if you guys kind of give some tips on something that you feel really strong, like you're good at, like whatever it is, tracking maybe, or inviting or whatever it is. So I'll get with you guys on that, but that's kind of where we're going. And then we're going to put them through that group. That's going to be like a 3 to 4 week group where they're basically just going to post their accountability, kind of like we post our power hour. And we might even have everybody post their workouts in Shakeology and like their accountability with their fitness, because as a new coach, that's super important to stay focused on. You've got to keep, you've got to keep on track with your fitness and stuff, or you can't build a business. And then they're going to go into a rock the basics after they complete the learn the basics. They're going to go into a rock or mastering the basics. And then there's an exploding emerald group. After that, and of course we have a little ways to go, but that's the plan. I just wanted to let you guys know. And then after that, once you hit emerald, there's no reason why you can't get to diamond, because you've created, you're basically duplicating it. So you get to emerald, and then you're going to duplicate the same system that you use to get to emerald. Of course, you're going to improve your system, and you're going to, make tweaks and different things like that. And you may have to do things a little differently, but at least you know what to do. So I don't think I'm going to do a push to diamond group. I don't think we're going to do those. I think I'm going to choose one person, 1 to 2 people, 2 at the very most, that I would mentor throughout the month. And we would work closely together in order for you guys to reach diamond if that's your goal. So anyways, I just want to tell you a little bit about that and what's going on, because it's really important that we get this in place just so we have, and we're going to kind of start these coaches at the same time too. It's going to be ran sort of like a challenge group each month, because I think it's good for people to start together. So all the new coaches on our team would start the first week of that month after they finish the 7-day kickstart videos. We thought 7 days was better than 14 because it's just a little less overwhelming, because we're trying to simplify this and just make it super easy. So that's that. I'll keep you informed about that, and I'll share it in the group, and then you guys will put your coaches in that. And it'll just be really nice because it'll be our videos from our team. And I think that's like really important. Okay. So that's that. As far as the sneak peek goes tomorrow night, I've got 1 or 2 people, I think maybe possibly, I just got 1 person involved. So I'm super excited because that was my goal, just to get 1 person involved. And I was talking to Melissa and Jessica earlier, and the posts that you do for the sneak peek are kind of, I'm just going to be honest, you're not going to get a lot of traction on those. You're not going to get a lot of people, busting down the door to be in your sneak peek. It's just not going to happen. But it's part of the process. It's part of you sharing why, because if people don't know why or how it's changed your life or what you're doing or where you're going with this, they're not going to jump on your train. So you have to be willing to share in every aspect what it's done for you, whether it's accountability because it's helped you stay accountable to your fitness goals, or it's, you've been able to pay for your product that's totally changed your life and you can share about that, or the friendships and the social aspect of it and how it's brought positivity. I mean, you can share in so many different ways. And I would do that throughout the month. I wouldn't just do it right before a sneak peek. I would try to find ways to share about it before, just when you think of something that it has positively changed your life, then post about it. But it's kind of just part of the process of dropping those breadcrumbs, and people are watching and people are looking at it, even though they're not maybe responding. It's just like yesterday, I was telling them, I spent like 45 minutes on my post yesterday, and I like to post and I like to save it in my notes for when I'm like Sunday nights. I always want to get a post out there. So yesterday during the day, I wrote up my post, saved it in my notes on my phone. I had already taken the picture that day. And then that way at 8 o'clock or whatever time I posted it, I could just copy and paste it and send it out, and it was done. So I spent like 45 minutes on that post, and it was a deeper post. I put a lot of thought into it. Because it was just on my heart at that time. And, and it got like a lot of likes, but it's not like anybody was, I was thinking, I hope someone would relate to this, because I'm sure there's someone else who struggles, who, feels stuck in their job, or they don't really want to do what they're doing anymore and that sort of thing. However, I still think probably, hopefully, somebody related to it in some way, I'm sure. I would assume, because I think it's sort of a common feeling for a lot of women and, working moms and things. So even though they didn't respond, that's okay, because I'm still just sharing what's on my heart. So if you can remember that, I know I talked to Melissa a little bit about, like, the other day when I told you guys about posting your fitness and making sure you're really sharing your journey, because if you're doing workouts every day and you're really putting a lot of effort into getting it done and you're not sharing about it, people, again, don't know why you're doing it. They don't understand why or how it's changing your life in several different aspects. So you have to share about it every day. And just finding those ways to do that can be sort of difficult, but not really, because you're just making it super simple. Just have fun with it and be you. And I know I say that all the time, but it's so important. And that's kind of how, like, I was talking to Jessica, we were talking about someone that had commented on her business post that she did last night. And, she's like, I had just formed her a couple days ago. Like, I just reached out to her because I liked her family picture. I just told her that. So now I feel like, is it too soon to send her the invite? Because I don't want her to think that I just reached out to her about her family pictures because I was going to invite her, but she said something really nice to Jessica on her post. And so obviously, and how Jessica had inspired her and she liked watching her and something to that effect. And so obviously she's seeing her posts and she's positively inspired this girl. Jessica has inspired this girl. And so I'm like, yes, you have, like, that is a for sure way to send an invite, because she can thank her, she can compliment her, thank you so much for commenting and saying that, because that, sometimes those posts are hard to put out there, or however you want to word it. And then, she went into like, is this something you would be, interested in? Like, no pressure at all, but, just kind of wanted to throw that out there, whatever she said. But again, I appreciate the support, kind of thing. So it's super simple, and that is hard because you're jumping out of your comfort zone with that. You're jumping out of your comfort zone with these posts, and you're jumping out of your comfort zone with messaging these people. And it's hard, and that's why not everybody sticks with this. That's why it's like not everybody's doing it, because it's not always easy to post that and then to reach out, because you feel like, should I be doing this? Is this, you're asked all these questions, like you're afraid you're being pushy or whatever. But if you can just remember to be bold and invite, and it's almost like I was telling them, I feel like you have to almost create the invite sometimes, because I'm going to run out of people. Like, I'm plain and simple. Like, you guys are going to go through your list and you're going to exhaust your list. That's why there's the process of forming, first adding new people to your network, and then, messaging them, reaching out to them, getting to know them, liking their stuff, commenting, interacting with them on Facebook, and then, going into more of like a forming with messaging maybe, and then going into the clean eating group. Like, I feel like I have gained new people by the clean eating groups, because for one, it's free. And we obviously state that in the post, and it's just good. It gets good attraction, I think, because those new people have seen your post and you don't know them. Like, I had one girl that just said me, I want in or whatever. And I sold her a challenge pack before the week was even over because, I took it a step further. I asked her about her goals and just to see where she was, to see if she wanted 30 days of Beachbody On Demand for free, to see if she needed something at home or if her nutrition and blah, blah, just all these things that I'm finding out about her. And then she decides she wants to do the 3-day refresh because in the midst of that, I'm posting about my 3-day refresh group. So even though it's sort of exhausting, posting about all this stuff and trying to keep up with these groups and invite to these, if you can keep up with your posts specifically and reach out, keep up with your posts on all the groups that we're doing leading up to them and continue throughout just posting when you can to fill in kind of the cracks when you have something come to your mind or come to your heart about something that you want to post that you think could inspire or help someone and maybe talk a little bit about this coaching opportunity. So those, all the posting, and then you're going to be able to reach out to these people. It's going to give you people to invite. And that's sort of creating those invites for you so that you can and do have new people to reach out. So I know that's kind of a duh thing. Like we know that this is part of the process, but it really is all supposed to be sort of simplified for us so that it's not super hard for us to find people to invite. Because if you're continuously doing all of those things, it should just come. So that's kind of that. And we try to run at the same time every month. And I want to thank Melissa because she's already offered to, take over and set up the group for our free clean eating group for April. So it's great that we plan ahead, because this takes a team effort. And I'm going to be asking for you guys more help, more of your help on some of these, because you guys aren't running your own challenge group, which I think we should branch off at some point and do that. I just think that maybe we should even pair up at some point, and we've done this before, but it's good for you guys to do that because number one, it pushes you because it gets you people in your group. Because right now we have a huge group. We have a huge group, whether you invite, whether you add people to the group or not. If you don't do another invite this month, our challenge group is not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay pretty solid because it just is that way because we've all added so many people, which is amazing. However, it doesn't push us sometimes to add people to the group because if I open my own challenge group and y'all run your own or Jessica runs her own, then she's going to have to push to get people in there because there's not going to be as many people in there anymore. And you just don't really necessarily want to run a challenge group with 2 people. And it can be done. And it's okay if that's what you had to do, or if that's the best you could do. But it just sort of, I think, helps you guys. And I also want to kind of discuss a little bit about challenge group scripts. So every month, usually we've all taken some turns to post some and take a week here. Like I do a week and Jessica does a week and Carlita's done a week and Missy's done a week or, a few weeks here and there. And that's nice because it just takes the stress off of all of us. So what I think would be a really good idea and what Lindsay's team does that I think's awesome. And she has a bigger downline. So she has a few more working coaches in her downline than us, but we still have enough that I think we could pair up and we could, someone could create a script for the month. So the March script that we're going to use, I actually pulled from her team page because I don't have time this week. And I don't really want to recreate the wheel. And that's why we have access to all these different scripts from all these different people. However, it doesn't sound like me probably. It might sound like, it's not going to sound like me because I didn't write it, but I'm okay with that because it just is what it is. And sometimes you need to just take help if you can get it, because that's not going to make my group successful. The group is going to be successful because of the people in it and because of all of our posts and because of all of our momentum and energy. But I do like to do a daily morning post and add value. And so that's what we try to do, even though this week we haven't had posts in there because technically we're in the 4th week. We're getting ready to transition over to a new challenge group. So I think we should, so I want some volunteers maybe, or anybody who wants to say, okay, I'm going to create the challenge group for April, or me and so-and-so are going to kind of tag team and we're going to create the script for April. And then if we can either run it together, I'm okay with that, or you can run it separately. Cause I think it's really good as coaches, as growing as a leader for you to run your own group, because it's not hard. You guys have been in my groups for long enough. We know and I know some of you guys have done it anyways by yourself, and you do great. So it's something we might do again, just because I think after newer coaches have been in our group for a while, it's good to do it on your own, even though it might be a little discouraging, because you're just not going to have. The reason our group is so big is because we have so many coaches in our group who have added all their customers. That's the reason. If I took all you guys out and all your customers, my group would be much smaller and it wouldn't be as active. So that's the only buzzkill about doing it that way. That's what I like. And I know that the other girls, like some of the other customers, that they have expressed, that they love having our group together. So I think what we're doing is working. I just think we need to team up and help each other and kind of get more of a plan in place, I guess. Hopefully that makes sense. But I can share, like, we have some scripts in the team page, but it would be nice if we went ahead and like made one for each month, saved in the files section in the team page, and then we had them. And so we could always reuse them like next year for the same month. Like, we would use that script because nobody's going to remember, like nobody's going to care. It's just nice to have some variety from us, because you guys have tips that I forget about. Like, I'm a terrible meal prepper. So meal prepping tips are like not very, like, I don't have any. So, I mean, I do, but they're just like not that good. So different things that you guys can add to the group, I think will be super helpful. Okay. So basically I think that was the gist of what I wanted to say. I can't think of anything else that I wanted to talk about. Does anyone have any questions off of that? Was there anything else I left out that I said I was going to talk about, Jess or Melissa? I can't remember. Because our challenge group does start Monday. So I'm getting preseason. My assistant is actually setting the group up for us. I sent her the email and I sent her the script. She's going to Hootsuite it, so it's ready to go. So this month's taken care of. So that's why I want to prep and plan for April, for the challenge group in April. And we can go farther with that. But and then we'll talk about some ideas for the free clean eating group, because I really think this group was good. And I think we got some good feedback, and those clean eating groups always give you, even if someone doesn't buy something, it's so nice because it gives you prospects for the future. And it gives you, I guess, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like they want to be in your clean eating group again. Like, it gives you those people that really want, to be in your free groups because they love the meal plans or whatever. And you can always invite them again, and they may, jump on another time. Anything else you guys want me to discuss really quick? I don't want to keep you super long. I didn't really have anything for today. Jamie didn't really want to run a call tonight, or she didn't plan to run a call tonight since our sneak peeks is tomorrow. But I felt like we should connect, just since, I don't know, since we hadn't talked for a little bit. Anything, Jess?
Not really that I can think of. I think just planning ahead like now for next month is good. So we're like scrambling at the last second.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow all the videos are pre-recorded. Is that right?
Yes, I believe so. And I asked for that one, like I asked for that, like, I'm going to go back to ours because Jamie's kind of setting this one up, which I'm thankful for. But I'm going to see if maybe there's a video, like, because I know we made some extras last time. We ran it by ourselves. And so I'm going to see if maybe she needs some things to fill in. And then I think I'm going to make one on something. She's wanting me to talk about more of the financial kind of aspect of it, I think. So I might have to make one for that before tomorrow. But for the most part, it's ready. So I'm still going to try to get some invites out there to get people involved. And I just did a post tonight. And I might try to do one more post tomorrow before we actually go live, just a picture of me maybe getting ready to go live for our event and, talking about that. I thought about actually going live and talking about it, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So shoot out another post if you guys can think of something else, to share, and just think of like anybody in your mind that you think that you would want on your team. Like, they're positive, or, that they, maybe could use an extra income or positivity in their life because they're, whatever it is. think of those people that you think this would help, and just kind of, even if you just shoot them an invite and they've never been in your challenge group before, or they've never been a free customer of yours, I think it's okay to ask them, because like if you believe in what you're doing and you love it that much, then you're not afraid, really, you shouldn't be afraid to share it and just ask them, you know, like, is this something you would consider watching? Like, there's no obligation. It's just, we just give you the details and we share with you on what it is we do as coaches. And that's it, because they've already seen your post. So it's not like you're coming out of the blue and saying like, just, they're thinking, what the heck? You know, you're bombarding them with all this information. You're simply asking them to join a live, you know, it's no different than joining my live makeup party that I'm having, or whatever, or LuLaRoe or whatever. It's no different. But it's just always a little touchy when you're the one that's kind of like, you know, you're selling this technically, and you're involved with this. So sometimes it makes it a little hard to ask, I guess, the question, which it shouldn't. But, so you got to believe in that, or, you know, you'll feel like a little bit restricted when you go to send the invite. Anything else that you guys had? I'm hoping to have this new coach training group up by the end of the week. So we can go ahead and put like the newer coaches in there. And then in the meantime, we'll be trying to create the next group. And then I just think it's going to be really beneficial for all of our future coaches that sign up. So anything else, you guys? I'm just going to make this super short. And then I got to read 10 minutes of my personal development book before I go to bed. And I did send out a few invites. So I'm going to try to do a few more before I get off the phone, or before I go to bed, and try to get in bed by 10. I don't know if I can do it. So you guys have a good night. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but, and then we'll catch up next Monday, of course. And then tomorrow I would just keep trying to add people for tomorrow night. And I think I try to add most of you guys so that you could add your people, if you had any. But you can even do like the invite. There's that little invite box, you know, you probably saw it. That's how you can send the invite. It was kind of confusing from your phone, but, so, okay, well, you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you later. Okay. Thanks for getting on. Good night.